All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and put Algebra 1 on the front of our notebook. Then below that, you're going to put your first and last name. And then below that, you're going to put your period number. Okay, once you've completed that, you're going to take a piece of tape. You're not actually going to need to do as long a piece as I've done, just enough to cover half your book this way. All right, so half your book, not you don't need as long as I have, but you're going to take a piece of tape, you're going to stick half of it on the front side, and then you're going to curve the rest onto the back. Make sure that that tape is securely in there. Then what you're going to do is going to take a marker and you're going to put your period number on the top. So I'm going to go with third period for myself, but you're going to put whatever period you are. Then you're going to put your last name. You're going to spell your last name all the way down, leave a little bit of space, and then put your first name, or you can put your first initial. All right, then you're going to open your book. Your first 3 pages are going to be the table of contents. So 1, 2, and 3. These pages you are not going to touch. Okay. On the 4th page, okay, so you're on the 4th page now. You're going to take the sheets of paper that you just picked up, and I'm going to teach you how to cut it with a ruler because it's so much faster. But if you want to do a scissors, that's fine. All right, so put your ruler in the middle of the page like I have. Apply pressure with your left hand, and with your right hand, as you can see what I'm doing, slowly tear it. And if you do it slowly, it should be okay. And if you need some help, just, call me and I got you. All right, we're going to do, in fact, we're going to just go ahead and cut all the paper. So it might take you like a little while. So again, put pressure on your left hand like that with my 2 fingers. Put pressure, take your right hand, then tear it down. Okay, and we're just going to repeat that process for all 9 pages. I guess they're really 4. All right, pressure and then tear. Pressure and then tear. And again, if you need some help, just raise your hand. Someone around you will help you, or I'll come and help you. All right, once that's done, remember we're on page number 4. Page number 4. And we are going to cut along the margin. So you can see the margin from the other side, it bleeds through. So you're going to cut all the way down on the margin. Okay, so take again ruler, pressure, cut all the way down on the margin. Then you're going to turn to the next page, and we're going to put in we're going to glue in our first page. Okay, so we're going to leave that one that we just cut blank. And on the very next page, we're going to glue in the first printout. So again, we're leaving page 4 blank. So I'm showing you counting 1, 2, 3 pages for the table of contents, then leave page 4 blank, and then you're going to glue in the very first printout on the next page. Again, when you're gluing these in, make sure that you do not go past the margin on the right hand side. Okay, so you're going to take some tape or some glue. If you're using tape, go ahead and fold it the way I'm showing you in the video. It's a little bit neater. So go ahead and just like fold it on top of each other, then put it on the back of the piece of paper. And so again, you're just folding the tape over itself, put it on the back of the paper. And again, before you stick it, make sure that margin, you do not go past that margin. See that red line, do not go past it. All right, so you're going to stick it in and do not go past that margin because we're going to be cutting some more. And we're basically going to do this to all the sheets. So on that first page 5 goes our first printout. So again, page 4 we've cut is blank. Page 5 is the first printout. You're going to turn to the next page, and you're going to take your second page printout, polynomials. Okay, and again, do not stick it on the left of the margin. So we're not going to stick it past the margin on the left or on the right. So again, take some tape or some glue. It's faster if you have glue, but if you're doing tape, go ahead and fold it like I'm showing you in the video. And then you're going to put them in the back of each page. And once again, very, very important, do not place it over the red line on the margin where I'm showing you. Okay, so place it to the right of that. And I'm going to repeat that process for the next page. Once again, if you're using tape, go ahead and fold it. All right, again, do not stick it past the margin. Okay, so you can see the margin is very strong on the other side, but it bleeds through here. Do not stick it on the right of that. So put your page more on the left and leave the margin alone, because again, we're going to be cutting that in a few minutes. So you're going to need that. And you're going to basically repeat this process for the rest of the unit. All right, when you go to the next page, we're going to take the fourth sheet of paper and the fifth sheet of paper, and we're going to stick those in again. All right, so stick them on the corners. Again, do not pass that margin there, okay? Don't pass that line, so stick it to the right of that. Making sure you're leaving the margin on the left visible. And again on the next page. All right, so again, when you stick it in, careful to not pass that line. Do not pass that line. So stick it on the left of the margin. All right, then go to the next page. And we're going to stick our next page in there. All right, again, do not pass that line. So stick it to the right of that line. And we're going to take our next cutout and we're going to put it on that same page on the right. Again, do not pass the margin, okay? Do not pass the margin. All right, and then the next page over, I'm going to stick the last sheet. Do not pass the margin, okay? So again, on the right-hand side of it, okay? And that's going to be your Unit 1 papers all stuck in there. So right now, we're going to go ahead and work on creating our table of contents. Go all the way to the front, pause the video, copy this down. Okay, once you've copied the table of contents down, remember the table of contents is 3 pages long. So after the third page, remember is the page that we cut all the way down. All right, you're going to title that Unit 1A. So pause the video and title it Unit 1A. And then the rest of the pages are going to be what we've stuck in. So I'm just going to count really quickly. So it looks like about 6. And I'm going to show you that what we're going to do is we're going to count the number of lines and then divide it by 6 to see how to separate it. So if you just count all the number of lines, so this is just for your future reference. I'll do the first one for you. So I think there were 26 lines divided by 6. Each line or each tab is going to be 6. So what we're going to do is the first tab is going to be the main big tab plus 1 line. Okay, so the first big tab plus 1 line. I'm just going to mark it. Okay, and then I'm going to count 6 down, then count another 6 down, then count another 6 down, then count another 6 down. All right, so this is just to give you a rough idea. Really, the first one is all you need. Okay, so I'm just making sure that there are enough tabs for what we're going to do. So again, the very first one is going to be the big space at the top and 1 line. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your ruler right there. So the big space and 1 line, you're going to cut to the margin. So you're going to cut to the red line. And then you're going to cut all the way down. So you're cutting to the red line and then you're cutting all the way down. So remember, you just apply pressure with your left hand and then you pull with your right hand. Ask for help if you need it. Please don't get lost. And so we've created our first tab. And basically, we're going to make tabs all the way down. So we're going to go to the next page and count 6 lines down. Mark it. Okay, don't forget to mark it so you don't get lost. All right. Take your ruler, cut to the margin and all the way down. So cut to the margin, all the way down. Put pressure on your left hand and use your right hand to cut. Once again, if you need some help, please see someone right next to you or raise your hand and I'll come and see you. All right. Again, we've created a tab. You see it's longer than the other one because now you're going to be able to see it from the first. So you see if I close this page, you can see both tabs. You can see the first tab we cut and the second tab. And that's pretty much what we're doing this whole unit. So we're going to be creating our notebook per unit. So again, you're going to count 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mark it. All right, then take your ruler. Cut it to the margin and all the way down. Apply pressure on your left hand and use your right hand to tear it. To the margin and all the way down. And again, if you want to use scissors, that's fine. It just takes longer. All right, so we've just made our third tab. So it's longer than the other 2 that we created. And we're going to repeat the process. Count 6 lines. Mark it. Cut to the margin and all the way down. All right, be careful that you don't have 2 sheets by mistake. So cut to the margin and all the way down. Now mine's a little bit off because when I first did this, I counted 4 lines, I think, but yours should be longer than what mine is. All right, so we're actually on the last page, so we're not going to cut this down. Like I said, mine is going to look higher than yours because I counted 4 lines. And then what we're going to do with those tabs is you're just going to write the title of the page that is there. Okay, so you have all these tabs and you're just going to write the title. So if you turn to the first page, you're going to write adding and subtracting integers. So you may not be able to see what I'm writing, but that's what I'm writing. Adding and subtracting integers, the title of what it is. You're going to go to the second page. What's that? Polynomials, and then adding and subtracting polynomials. So you're going to write polynomials. Then on the next line or next few lines, write adding and subtracting polynomials. And make sure it fits on just the tab. Okay, so don't go further than the tab. So again, even if you can't see, I'm just writing the titles of the paper that's in there. All right, then go to the next one. All right, so that's solving equations, I believe. And again, if you can't see it, it doesn't matter. Just listen. You're going to the next tab and you're looking at the title of what the paper says. So solving equations, and you're making it fit on the tab. All right, then you go to the next tab. You look at the title, solving literal equations. So you're going to make that fit there, solving literal equations. So each tab is going to have the title of whatever pages are on there. It's just for easy access and for you to be able to find it really quickly. All right, then the last one is going to be solving inequalities. And again, yours might be lower than mine because I didn't count enough lines. All right, then the last thing you're gonna do, and then we're done with setting up our notebook, is you just take your colored pencils and you're just gonna color in the tabs. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I know especially the boys, it does not have to be perfect. Just look how roughly I'm coloring it in, just different colors, just so that it's stands out a little bit better. Okay, so just color in each tab, different colors if you can. Go ahead and share color pencils if you didn't have any. All right, so you're just going to color all the tabs all the way down, and then we are done setting up our notebook. Now, your notebook is going to stay in class, okay? So you have put your period number on it, and you've put your name on it, and actually, we are going to add a number that I gave you or that I'm giving you underneath your name, and that will be the order that we put the books back. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so underneath your first name, there's a number I gave you as your seat number. You're going to put that number there on the tape, and that will be the order you put your book back. That way, we don't have to figure out where your book is. Okay, but I'll explain that a while. Do it a couple of times until you kind of get used to it. All right, so remember, if you're lost, please ask someone next to you or raise your hand, and I got you. All right, and so this is what your notebook looks like. Your table of contents, Unit 1, Unit 1A, and you see how easily you can just go through the tabs. Okay, you can just flip the tabs, and that's Unit 1. At the end of Unit 1A, we will have our test. So you'll know, hey, a test is coming up. That's it.